How's it going, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the third feature match for the week. Here we are in round 3, obviously, and we have a pretty interesting matchup for you guys today. We've got Springan Adventurer Dogmatica on the left, aka Sad, versus Cosmo DPE Dogmatica. Yeah, pretty interesting deck choices here on the feature, so very excited to see how this one plays out. We're going to see an Enchantress get ashed frame 1 and Ecclesia on the follow-up to grab a copy of Punishment. And we'll see him set 2. And it looks like that will do it for our Springan Adventurer Dogmatica player's turn. Seeing 2 of the 3 engines aforementioned there. But as our Cosmo player decides what to do first here, let's take a look at the poll results. Ask you guys who you thought was going to win this particular matchup. And just about over 400 votes as I'm recording. And Springan Adventurer Dogma in the lead just by about 8%, 54% to 46%. So let's see if you guys are correct in your voting. We're going to see Cosmo, in quotes, Cosmo open up. Not too hot here, leading with the DPE, just Fusion Destiny dumping the bricks. Although DPE does have really good synergy with this particular deck, and I really didn't realize it until, just now, honestly. I'm going to pop your own Cosmo towns alongside an opponent's card, or pop your own ships to tag out into other Cosmo monsters is honestly really, really strong. So we're going to see DPE get in over top of that Ecclesia for a little bit of damage. Obviously, Ecclesia will be protected by its own effect, and we're going to see DPE effect afterwards. And in response, we're going to see a Punishment get chained to clear the DPE. Of course, DPE will still activate Engrave to revive itself. We're going to see a Cosmic on the other set, which happens to be a Schism. Of course, you can pretty much splash Winda and in any deck with Nadir Servant in it, which is pretty crazy. We're going to see End-Phase Titaniclad to go ahead and spec out an Ecclesia to go ahead and add another Dogmatica card, and we'll see what he decides to take here. We're going to go for a copy of Fleur de Lis. Pretty nice card to have here in a simplified game state, but he will need to go ahead and get a monster summon from the extra deck out onto the field. So we'll see him go ahead and search, cut the deck, and go ahead and draw for turn. Of course, DPE returning here in the standby phase. And we're going to see him go ahead and normal summon the Spriggan's Brothers. So this card is sent from the hand or deck to the graveyard. You can target a Spriggan's monster in graveyard except itself. Special summon in defense position. If this card is in your hand, field, or graveyard, you can target one Spriggan exceeds monster you control. Attach this card to it as material. So it really doesn't do a whole lot on normal summon, which I guess makes sense if you're going to throw it into a adventurer deck, because obviously anytime you use the adventurer stuff, you can't use the effects of normal summoned monsters. I believe the turn you use any of those cards would be Fateful Adventurer, Right, etc., etc. So we're going to see DPE activate, popping one of the Ecclesias. And then we're going to see Punishment dumping a Titaniclad to pop the other Ecclesia. And now we're just going to see the brothers get linked into Almirage. That'll get slapped into a Secure Gardna. And then we're going to see Enchantress activate here. That's going to grab Right. Right's going to go ahead and spec out the token and grab Fateful. And honestly, this actually might just be game here damage-wise. Secure Gardna's got 1,000 attack. The token has 2,000. Pitching Ghost Ogre as a part of Fateful Adventure, grabbing the Wandering Griffin Rider, and yeah, Griffin Rider plus the token plus Fleur, that's just going to be game on sheer damage right there. So we're going to see the Sad strategy go ahead and take game 1 there, and an OTK seemingly just out of the blue, just like that. So, and as these guys get ready to start in game 2, of course, a few other ways you guys can support the channel. By using my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout anytime you guys shop on ImperiumDuelist.com, link below. And you guys can support the channel by shopping on TCG Player or The Coldest by using the affiliate links I have at their site down in the description below as well. So, Cosmo going first here in Game 2. Opening with just Farm Girl Pass, which is rather unfortunate. We're going to see an Imperm start things off here for our Spriggan Dogma player on the Farm Girl. That's going to force it to tag out into Dark Destroyer. Dark Destroyer will attempt to destroy itself, effect to float, and there's an Ash on that. Pretty strong Ash there. Although I don't think it would have tagged into too much. Maybe a Dark Lady, but I don't know. A Dark Lady might be too much. I have no idea. Depends on how you open it, of course. We're going to see this Gold C. Go ahead and spec out the Merrymaker, which I think we saw this card in a previous feature match. And last time, these two exact players were on, actually, I think in last week's, one of last week's rounds. That's part of the reason I wanted to have them on again. It'd be kind of like a rematch, right? And see if the loser from last time can go ahead and redeem themselves. But yeah, we're going to see him go ahead and activate Watch for the Field Spell. Field Spell will pitch Brothers to summon Merrymaker. And that will trigger Merrymaker to go ahead and send a Bronga, and it will activate Bronga effect to banish itself and another Springan. So go ahead and search another Springan's card from the deck. And going to go ahead and add another copy of Watch. Just kind of have a follow-up play for next turn. And I believe last time the Springan player was on an Invoked variant and has since switched off Sense for the Adventurer stuff. So maybe he can go ahead and redeem himself again and catch the dub. And that Enchantress is going to get Ash, so holding that Ash for the Enchantress. Merrymaker will swing in for 21, because the Field Spell will go ahead and give all Springan Exceeds monsters 1,000 attack. Cosmo actually just drawing and just completely skipping a turn here. Not much they can do. Probably a few ships in hand that aren't doing too much. And I think I see 2 Dark Destroyer in hand, which is really unfortunate. And we're going to see another Enchantress activate here and resolve fully. Going to go ahead and get Draco back, get the token, activate a copy of Watch, and we'll see what he goes ahead and decides to search with the Watch. He's going to go ahead and send and search. Going to add another copy of Brothers, and I feel like one thing the Springan engine does as well here, at least I don't fully understand it, but I feel like it also enables the Dogmatica engine a little bit as well, which is kind of cool. So we're going to see him activate the one that he just searched, go ahead and attach itself to the Merrymaker, and he'll swing in for 4,100 damage. And I think he equipped the Captain Sargus, which basically just has an effect in hand where it can just equip to a Springan Exceeds. And it'll get a little bit of damage there and just pass. And then our Cosmo player is going to have a insane top deck here. Hopefully it'll find him something, you know, to get the engine going, or at least to buy a little time to get the engine going, because fortunately for him, his opponent hasn't been able to pop off with a whole lot. He'll find a copy of Fusion Destiny, a couple other ships, and, you know, some hand traps and traps. I think the Fusion Destiny is probably the best thing he can take here. It'll give him a little bit of defense and the ability to follow up with a draw 2 on a later turn, which is definitely very nice. And yeah, as expected, he will take that Fusion Destiny. We'll go ahead and slap it down immediately. If there was an Ash there, that probably would be game. But luckily for him, there is no response to the Fusion Destiny, dumping the bricks to go ahead and summon out the Enforcer, one of the best Cosmo cards printed recently. One of the best insert archetype here cards printed recently. There you go. Heard it was also one of the better Sky Striker cards, but it's also a very good Cosmo card here, as you can see. So we're going to see the DPE attacked into the Merrymaker, but again, this does have a sort of Time Thief Redoer-like effect, where it can tag out. It says, during your opponent's main or battle phase quick effect, you can banish this card until the end phase. Then if you banish this card with 2 or more materials, you can also send a Fusion Monster from your extra deck to the grave that lists Fallen of Albaz as material. He will not get that effect here, but he will simultaneously get that copy of Captain Sargus, I believe that's Captain Sargus, I could be wrong, into the graveyard just by it being falling off of the Merrymaker. And as we saw earlier, having some of these Springan cards engraved for, what was the other name? Again, I'm still learning these, so I apologize. Yeah, for like the Bronga, just as fodder for more searches on the following turn. So I think, I'm not really sure what the delay here is. I think he was wondering, I don't know, honestly. I feel like we're just going to see a redeclare here since the Merrymaker did tag out, and he will go over the token, which is down by 400 because of DPE, and he'll take a little bit of damage there. And he's also under Prosperity too, so he won't take the full 900 damage he would have taken. He'll take 450 instead. 75, 50 life points here. Standby phase. Well, end phase, Merrymaker will come back. Standby phase, DPE will return. And we're going to see Fateful Adventure activate. That's going to go ahead and search a copy of Enchantress. Enchantress will go ahead and get discarded for Fateful. and then can just go ahead and banish the Enchantress to go ahead and search. Just go ahead and get right, because we still haven't seen Wandering Griffin Rider come into play yet, so getting access to that here could be pretty strong, just to establish some sort of interruption to keep this Cosmo player from getting back into the game here. That's the last thing you want, because once those ships start rolling and that Cosmo engine gets going, it might be a little too late, especially with the Celestial Dasher follow-up. But at least our Cosmo player can feel good in the fact that he's not going to get access to the Griffin Rider yet this turn, because he already used that first effective Fateful to search the Enchantress. So, but he will have to clear that sooner than later, just because, you know, next turn he can go ahead and grab Wandering Griffin Rider, assuming the token sticks around. So yeah, and I think in hand I see a copy of Brothers, a copy of Cosmic Cyclone and Evenly, and still nothing he can do really to get over this DPE, putting the Merrymaker in attack position. And I think mainly right now you're worried about the DPE clearing the Fateful Adventure there. So we're going to see him set Cosmic Cyclone, perhaps as a bluff, to keep his opponent off of hitting the Fateful Adventure, because again, next turn you can just go ahead and grab Wandering Griffin Rider with it. But we'll see what the play is going to be here for the rest of the turn. Probably just thinking an end phase. Yep, so just DPE hit the Cosmic, standby phase, it's going to come back. DPE certainly helping him stay in the game here. Like, DPE is absolutely pulling its weight right now. Kind of incredible how a card that good is. And we're going to see Ecclesia hit the field. Yeah, Ecclesia says if a monster special from the extra deck is on the field. Now DPE is definitely not. I don't know if like the game state considers either of these monsters to be specials from the extra deck, since Merrymaker has already left the field and come back, and DPE has returned itself from the field. So I don't think he would have special summoned that there. I think that was a normal summon. No, I think that was a special summon, because I know the play that happens next. So I don't know if he can technically special summon Ecclesia here. If anybody knows the answer to this in the comments section, feel free to let me know, because I know way back in the day, like when Dante was special summoned back from the grave off of Seer, you know, you couldn't return it to the extra deck with Brionek, Necrotic Brionek, because it wasn't considered a monster that was special from the extra deck. At least that was how it was ruled a few times. So I'm not sure if Ecclesia would be able to be special summoned there, but looks like that's how it's going to be playing out here, and we're going to see that Ecclesia attributed for the normal summon of Cosmo Slip Rider, and that's going to clear the field spell, which is kind of nice, because that can continually bring out other cards and also give attack boost, which can be kind of annoying. So might as well clear it. Also, I think clearing the Fateful Venture would have probably just been better, since you can get over that Xyz anyways, but I guess he's just going to pop it main phase too, so getting rid of everything here regardless, so it doesn't really matter. And Slip Rider effect to go ahead and tag out into something else. And this is that synergy, DPE, you know, bringing to the Cosmo deck, just acting as like a diagram essentially, or a Fire King Island for Cosmo, but a very, very good one. I know Fire King Island needs to be played a lot in Cosmo. Just a way to destroy your ships whenever you could, to help generate advantage and get, you know, different bodies floating onto the field. So we're going to see him tag into Strawman. Strawman will swing in for 500. And we're going to see him end the battle phase, and there's an evenly matched, because, well, you might as well use it, I guess. I mean, do you have to use it, though, I guess? That's the real question. I don't know. You know, maybe you let your opponent play out his entire turn and invest a little. Well, I guess you have the Merrymaker coming back anyways, so I guess it was a use it or lose it situation. Never mind. Look how smart I am. So we're gonna see the Merrymaker come back, and we're gonna see him activate Sargus Engrave to go ahead and equip to the Merrymaker here, giving it 1 material, and we're gonna see him set, and then we're gonna see him activate Brothers in hand. This is going to attempt to attach to the Merrymaker. I imagine we'll see DPE here, and it's going to make it so it does not get attached to it. And now the Xyz cannot tag out, because I think it's only during the opponent's main or battle phase, so clearing that's kind of nice here. We're going to see him link off the brothers probably into an Almirage. And we're not sure what else can be done here at this point. And we're going to see a punishment here, sending Entis, clearing off the Almirage, and Entis popping the back row. And DPE returning yet again. Card is absolutely pulling its weight, and Battle Phase, E-Tele plus Dark Destroyer, that's going to seal it. That is more than enough damage. And after a very grindy game too, where our Cosmo player quite literally couldn't get anything going for a few turns, was able to bring it back there with the help of DPE. We're on to a game 3 situation. So we're going to see the sad deck lead first here with the Gold Sea. That's going to pitch, I believe, a Sargus to go ahead and summon a Merrymaker. And then we'll go ahead and dump on top of that a copy of Brothers. And I believe Brothers will go ahead and get its effect here. So sorting out Chain Links. Or actually, I think that's just going to go ahead and revive instead of send. And then he'll go ahead and equip, or attach rather, to the Merrymaker with the Brothers. And then he'll activate Enchantress. Enchantress is going to get Right. Right will summon the token to get Fateful. And we're going to see an Ogre on Fateful Adventure, which is really strong. Ogre showing itself how good it is this format. And that will do it for turn. So we probably would have seen the Griffin Rider there. And putting up an Omni Negate would have been, I think, the most this deck has probably done so far this whole match. Still a very unique and interesting tactic, though, so I can respect it. But unfortunately, the Fateful not being able to resolve due to a very, very well-timed Ghost Ogre there. And we'll see if our Cosmo player can crack the board. Maybe he'll use his Cosmo engine to go ahead and crack the board instead of summoning out the Cosmo Phoenix Enforcer. But he will have Cosmo Pankratops, and he'll go ahead and spec that to the board. I think I see a copy of Schism and Right in hand for our Spriggan player. So he does have decent follow-up in that of another copy of Right. And we will see Merrymaker activate here, tagging itself out. Pank will not respond to that, it looks like. And just reading the field spell here. And we're going to see a Cosmic Cyclone on the field spell. So opting to clear that. And we're going to see Pank go over top the token for just about 600 damage there. And then main phase 2, we're going to go ahead and see a copy of Nadir's Servant, which is really strong and just probably going to be able to clear the whole board right now if he goes and decides to dump something like Entis here. Or he could go for Titaniclad. And I think I just saw a Chimera Phlasia in the extra deck too, so that's kind of funny. He could have opted to send that. But he will dump Entis, clear the Sargus, get access to Ecclesia, normal summon Ecclesia effect to go ahead and search, probably for punishment. I feel like punishment could be very, very strong against this deck, just because mass removal, but it looks like he'll search Maximus instead. Merrymaker will return after he sets one back over. That's probably a punishment, so maybe already opened it. And then we're going to see him lead with Right. If this whole engine resolves, he could be in a good position here, but that's if it resolves, so we'll see him get the token. And it doesn't look like he has a Fateful Adventure to place from the deck. So we're just going to see Spriggan's effects Engrave activate. So both Sargus and Brothers are going to attach to the Merrymaker. And yeah, maybe only one. I don't know if that's standard for most builds of like anything that runs the Adventure engine. Just to run one Fateful Adventure, or if it's to run multiples, I have no idea. But normally with Right, you would have expected another Fateful to come down. I'm not sure there, but I don't know the deck list, so. We're going to see Punishment activate. Going to go ahead and dump an Entis, clearing everything there. And then we'll see him pass turn. And already has quite a bit of damage on board here. We'll see him swing with Ecclesia and with the Pankratops. And then main phase 2, normal summon the Wind Can. End phase, pay 5. And this is going to put his opponent on a 1-turn clock here with the amount of damage he has on board, revealing Dark Destroyer, Dark Lady, and Slip Rider. And the Dark Lady will go to the hand and dumps the other ships to the grave. Probably would have preferred to have gotten a Dark Destroyer there. But, you know, you'll take a Dark Lady, I guess. We'll see him pass turn. Finds a copy of the field spell off the top. Although Pank could easily respond here, and it looks like it's going to after he pitches the Bronga. We'll see him activate Bronga. That's going to go ahead and banish itself and Brothers. Go ahead and search a Spriggan's card. We'll see what he decides to grab here. We don't know what can get him out of this bit of a pickle he's in. Looking at Brothers. So he will take Brothers, perhaps, perhaps not. I mean, I really don't know how you get out of this, honestly. You got to get rid of the tin can, because that's just going to go ahead and resolve in the end phase again, getting more advantage. Also tag out into something like Dark Destroyer. You know he has a Maximus in hand. You just got to find a way to block damage, because you're just going to lose next turn on sheer damage anyways. We're going to see him activate another Gold Sea, Gold Golgonda, and we're going to see him proceed to end phase here, and we're going to see another tin can resolve, and I think this is probably going to go ahead and put a wrap on this one here. And I'm going to go ahead and refresh the poll results here, and yeah, it looks like you guys are still in favor of the sad strategy, and I think you guys might be incorrect. You guys were right last round, but you weren't right in round 1, so you guys might be X2 already on the week. That's kind of, oof, yeah, X2 already, huh? Not super good. So we're going to go ahead and see our Cosmo player, Normal Summon Farm Girl. And honestly, I think our opponent's only at 33 right now. And there's the Maximus. I think this is just game outright. 15, and then 15, and then 15. Like, that's 4,500 damage right there. Surprised he hasn't scooped yet. Maybe bluffing really hard with that back row. And we'll see what it is here in a moment, I imagine. Ecclesia swings in, and it looks like it's a Schism, which is unfortunate. That could have been actually really strong. Just really didn't find access to his Nadir servants there, which is unfortunate. So Cosmo taking that one 2-0 if you guys, or 2-1 rather. If you guys want to see more of my content, click on one of the videos popping up on the bottom of the screen right now. And last but not least, a huge shout out goes to our Divine Level channel members. And they are Tweeter0226, Pony Start, Cadillac CD4, Keith Sidgers, and Black Ninja Money. Thank you guys so much as always for your extremely generous support of the channel.